Good morning. Today is the day of the crap weather. It's already started. Continuous light rain. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse than this. The clouds are kind of obscuring the mountains some. And we're in about, we're like 6 miles from Piegan Pass. So we got to go up and over a pass first thing here in bad weather. So we'll see what all that looks like. Rain is expected to last all day, but it should be good after that. But the other guys, Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle, came into camp a little bit before 8 p.m. I think, and they brought in like a pizza and some snacks and things. But I was already full and ready for bed and finishing up editing, so that was just for them. They're sleeping in right now. It's about 8 o'clock. They're waiting to see if there's a weather break before they pack up and head out. But I'm just going to keep moving and get the miles that I can. We're only doing 15 today, so it's not a very big day. Up and over the pass, and then down a valley, and we get into the town, the little township or whatever of Mini Glacier, where there's like hotels and a bigger camping area and stuff. So we'll check into that, and that's where we're staying for tonight. So I'll film what I can, but I can't really have the camera out while it's raining. So, and unfortunately, we may not have many views when we get up and over the pass. So we'll just see what it's like as we hit it for today. Just crossing the Sun Road, we're disappearing into the woods this way. Rain's lightening up for just a second. A little bit of a view there for you. This is a very long, slow uphill grind. Once we get above tree line, it's gonna really suck. I'm about halfway to the top of Piegan Pass. Rain is currently stopped. I got about 3 miles left. It's gonna take about an hour and a half to get there. I just need the weather to hold out. At this point, we've got about 2 miles left, and we've already done the majority of the climbing, so it's a lot less steep. The pass we're going over is over that way, and it looks like it's below the cloud layer, so that's good. Looking at the maps, a lot of the glaciers, we're kind of getting into the area with more of the larger glacier buildups where they're at, but they're all like on the back side of these ridges, so we're not going to get much views, potentially. Getting above tree line now, I can see the trail up ahead. Cut off to the left there, and Piegan Pass is that little notch right there. The weather's still holding off. And there's one of the glaciers across the way. I think that's Piegan Glacier itself there. And we're actually getting views all the way back behind. You see some more of the distant glaciers. There's looking back. We are at the top of Piegan Pass. Still not raining, but there's a cold wind blowing. I gotta hurry up and make my way down back below tree line so we don't freeze to death. We'll get a view into the next valley here in a second. There's some sheer cliff walls. Looks cool with the clouds just hugging the tops of the mountains. A little bit of sun poking out down the valley. This is a massive descent down into the valley. I still have thousands of feet of elevation to lose. We've been going at it for a while. It's back to intermittent raining. Let's check back later. Well, I think we're done with the steepest downhill bits. Now we're into the valley, just cruising down, still descending. The amount of elevation gain and loss in those last like 9 or 10 miles was insane. But we've got about 5 miles and we'll enter the mini glacier area. And I'm due for a lunch break, but there's nowhere to really stop and sit. Everything's soaking wet. I'm getting hungry. I could hold out another 5 miles. We'll hit the mini glacier hotel, and they should have like an awning or something I can hide under and eat. Still getting drizzles of rain, but I don't think I mentioned this before, but everything's basically closed in the park by now. It's all off-season timing. All the hotels are closed, the restaurants are closed, general stores and gift shops are all closed. The only thing that's open is the ranger stations and the campgrounds. This totally seems like the perfect place for a moose or a grizzly bear to just be hanging out. Definitely keeping my eyes and ears open. Well, I'm always keeping my eyes and ears open. I've been in grizzly country for like the last 1,000 miles. The sign here for Mini Glacier Hotel is 4.1 miles. I'm definitely at the point where I'm getting hungry. But I guess I'm just gonna push it that far. These plants keep reminding me I've still seen 0 huckleberries and 0 blueberries, not a single one. This is what the plants look like. I don't know why they're just not in existence in this area. I found a dry spot under a tree, so I'm gonna take my lunch break here. It's about 12:50. I'm 3 miles from the hotel, and then I think from the hotel to the campground is like another 1.5 miles. So I don't have that much left for the day anyway. So I think I still will stop at the hotel coming up later. If they left the power on, and I might be able to get access to the Wi-Fi, so we'll see. But I'll be back on trail after lunch here shortly. Done with lunch, back on trail. Next stop, 3 miles from here is the hotel. See if I can steal their Wi-Fi. Here's looking back at the mountains and the passes we've come over. It's all socked in the clouds still. But as we get closer and closer to Mini Glacier, it's getting sunny. Lots of blue sky coming out. There's a trail right across the ridge there. I can see a lot of people going up it. A lot of day hikers and stuff out of town. Not too many people have been on the trail that I'm at, as far as day hikers wise, from this direction. Coming out of the woods onto a dirt road. We're getting close. Less than half a mile, I think, to the hotel. We made it to the Mini Glacier Hotel. No Wi-Fi signal here, but got things out, having a yard sale before that blows into the water. And there's looking back up the valley we came down, still kind of socked in the clouds. Awesome view out in front of the hotel. I'm just gonna hang out here for a bit, and then we'll move on to the campground, which I think is down that way somewhere. Done drying stuff out at the hotel, just chilling for 10 minutes. I got stuff dry enough. Continuing on our way. Couldn't even pick up a Wi-Fi signal. In theory, the password's in far out. It's just maybe shut down. But anyway, got about 1 mile, and we'll hit the ranger station. We'll check in there and see what site we're at. There's a nice view looking back at the hotel. I'm all checked in with the rangers. Backcountry Site 59 is what we got. That's where they stick all the hikers and bikers. Just a little bit around the corner here, and we'll see what we got. I think it's about 3 o'clock, so relatively early for when people normally come in. Let's see if I know anyone in the area. Reserved for wilderness permit holders only, Site 59. Here we are. Got our own bear box. And put some tents around here. Cool, get set up. Well, I'm all set up and good to go. I got my tent behind me there. There's 3 individual pads, and you can squeeze 2 tents per pad, same size as what we've seen in the other campgrounds. In the meantime, I'm gonna catch up on videos a little bit, I think. It's still only a little past 3. I'm expecting the other guys are probably like 2 hours behind me before they start rolling in. And we'll see if any other random hikers show up to this spot. Depending on everybody's schedule, and some having long days and some having short days, I wouldn't be surprised if someone rolls into here. But I'll just check back later when we're cooking up dinner, I guess, in a few hours. So also, as I'm just getting settled in my things at the table here, I was like, let's look in the bear box and see if it's like a little hiker box going on. And there is a hiker box going on. And there's beers, so I may indulge in one. And we've also got a backpacker's pantry, Cuban coconut, black beans, and rice. These are actually pretty good. I like these. I may take that. We got toilet paper. We got awesome bear sprays. All kinds of good stuff. That's running low. Cool. Well, it's been a few hours later. I think it's getting on to like 7 o'clock by now, but I've had my dinner. Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle have only just arrived. They didn't leave camp until like noon, resting in and waiting for all the weather to pass. But we've had a good evening. A good group of hikers have shown up, and then the same parents that were helping get their daughter support up the trail that I was mentioning. They got like their little truck camper thing. Those guys are camped just across the way from this little campsite, so we've been hanging out with them, getting drinks. They're cooking extra dinner for some of the hikers, so we've kind of had a nice little get-together time there. But I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get settled in the rest of the way. I gotta get this video edited, and we're getting close to the end at this point. I think this is the second to last night on trail, which is it's getting exciting. But tomorrow's gonna be a long 27-mile day, longest day on this stretch, and that'll put us just a stone's throw to the border and the finish. So tomorrow's gonna be awesome. Good views, lots of distance. We gotta get going nice and early. So we'll see all that. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all in the morning. Morning. Last night was kind of fun. Not the greatest of sleep with all the car campers, tons of cars. Lots of car alarms were going off, of course. Lots of people getting up early, moving about and things, but we're up and out ourselves nice and early. It's just after 7, I think. We got a long 27-mile day. Should have some awesome views. It is super cold this morning, nice and clear. It should be awesome and sunny. It should warm up later in a couple of hours, but for right now, we just gotta get moving, warm ourselves up. So Swift Current Pass is the big pass of the day that we're heading towards. It's something like 6.5 miles up, I think. And then we're kind of up on ridges and stuff. Not at the top of the ridge, but staying at higher elevations before dropping down. Here's Red Rock Lake. There's Bullhead Lake. Just above it there is the Swift Current Glacier. Should have better views of it once we get a little bit higher up. So far, all the terrain has been pretty flat, and at some point here, I think the elevation gain is just going to be pretty much straight up, because we still got a lot to go. Oh, we're into the big steep climb up to Swift Current Pass. I don't know the exact route. It goes up there somewhere. But there's a bull moose right down in that grove of trees. We'll see if we get a better shot of him as we keep going, but saw him for just a little bit. There's another moose. It may or may not be the same one. He's far enough away where it could be a different one. But that guy's got a gigantic rack. That might be the biggest rack I've seen on a moose yet. Looking up the hill at us. We're seeing something big go across the lake down there. Gotta be another moose, I guess. Yeah, totally another moose. Standing up. This uphill is pretty epic. But we're going straight up the end of this canyon. Better view a swift current glacier up there. Well, we made it to the top of the pass, Swift Current Pass. We're kind of hiding in the trees out of the little bit of a breeze, soaking up some sun, eating some snacks. We'll be chilling here for a little bit and then back on trail. We're done with our break for second breakfast. Heading down the other side of Swift Current Pass. And we stay high in altitude for at least the next 10 miles or so before we actually dip down into a valley. Kind of work our way around the edges. Should have awesome views all day, I think. So just down there is a little chalet building facility, which is closed for the year, of course. But I gather it's kind of like one of the AMC huts out on the AT, where it's got some basic amenities. You could stay there, get some food and that kind of thing. But it just kind of stinks that it's all closed for the year already. Can't stop in there and get anything, so we're just going to continue on our way. Here's what the trail ahead looks like for a while, so we're just following this ridge line all the way around. There's a lot of dead trees out in this area, unfortunately. Maybe an old forest fire. You can see the line of the trail ahead as it cuts across the mountain. Got a long way to go before we start a descent off there somewhere. This is another one of those moments where it's just impossible to capture the scale on camera of what you're looking at. This gigantic carved out bowl of a valley. Well, we found a really nice spot with a view for lunch, taking a lunch break. We're currently 13 miles to camp and it's about 1:30. So I'm gonna take a quick lunch break, try to be back on road at 2 at the latest, and just kind of push it to camp. I don't want to be there any later than like 6:30 to 7. I think these other guys are gonna aim for like an hour or so lunch break here. They may not show up until 7 to 8, so I think we're good there. We got one more like 3-mile uphill, I think, after this, and then it's like all downhill and then all flat to the border. So I'll check back in once we're back on trail from lunch. And here's our lunch view. We got a nice view down the valley. We're done with lunch. I'm back on trail. The other guys are going to enjoy a little bit longer of a break, but I like to get camp on the early side. It gives me time to finish dinner before the sun sets, and I gotta work on videos and stuff too. But I'm gonna try to cruise it quick as I can. I got it's something like 13 miles from here to camp. It is 2 o'clock, and I'm also just under 20 miles from the Canadian border, so that's pretty cool. Still hasn't really hit me yet that this is like the second to last day and I'm just getting so close. I'm sure it won't be until tomorrow morning probably. I got a family of the bighorn sheep up here. I think there's like 4 right there. And there's some more up here. Maybe another 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. So I'm hiding in the shade a little bit. That's cool. Just thinking about how lucky we are with the weather. Finish up these days with clear skies, perfect temperature, cool breeze blowing. Feels great out here. And I am in the last uphill climb of the entire trail. It's a 3-mile uphill, not too steep. I can see the trail up ahead, making its way up across, disappearing in that little notch. It doesn't say this is a pass, but it pretty much is. We're at the end of the valley and it's going up and over on a good hill climb. We're about a 1/4 mile to the top of the climb, getting some last looks back behind us. Everything we've done today since hitting the Swift Current Pass. A little bit further and it's all downhill. And we finally made it to the top. It's all downhill from here. 16 miles to Canada, that's all we got left. Just epic, expansive views. I see 2 grizzly bears on the hillside in front of me. Distance straight line is probably 1/2 mile. That's definitely 2 adult grizzlies. That's not a good sight. I'm going to, the trail continues that way over the ridge. I'll give them a wide berth to the right of the trail if necessary, but I'll keep you guys informed of the situation. That's definitely 2 grizzlies. This is about as close as the trail gets to them. Definitely 2 adult grizzlies. They seem to be minding their own business and grazing. I'm just going to keep on moving quick as I can. Well, I think I'm safely past them now, continuing away from them. I think it's a mother and a juvenile. The one on the right is just a little bit smaller. And they're just too preoccupied rooting and digging up stuff in the ground. But that's awesome. Seeing 2 more grizzlies. Still making our way down. Got a long way to go from all that uphill. Finally made it down to the bottom of the valley. The Waterton River is just off my left, and we're about 3.5 miles to camp. This should be my exit. Yeah, Kootenai Lakes, Campground Point 3. Just a little bit further. See you guys at camp. Made it to camp. There's about 4 tent pads like this, and this is the best site we've had so far. It's nice and big, can fit all of us, and it's not rocky, and it's level. There's 2 other hikers here today, and I think that's going to be it. And they got a fire going and stuff over by the cook area, so I think I'm going to go join them. And Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle should be rolling in about an hour or so, so we'll see them later. Well, I got my dinner done. It's getting later. It's getting darker. I'm not going to close out just yet. I'm just kind of savoring the last night on trail. It's just me and a campfire. The other 2 hikers that were here are heading off to bed. And still waiting on Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle. Hopefully it's not super dark by the time they roll in, but I'll check back when they get here.
Well, these guys finally showed up to camp. They did not get eaten by grizzly bears. That's good. But you got to see them anyway.
We did, yeah.
So that was the first time seeing them on this trail, right? Sweet. So
First time in my whole life.
First time in the whole life. Oh, sweet. So we'll just be finishing up dinner, enjoying the fire, enjoying our last night on trail.
So I think that's it for today. It's been awesome. We saw some more grizzlies, finished all the ups and downs. It's all pretty flat. From here on out, we got 7 miles left. So thanks for watching. Join me again in the next episode for the final day on the CDT and wrapping up the Triple Crown. See you on the next one.